Hey everybody, we are going to continue Persona 5 Strikers tonight, and I think we're pretty close to the final boss. And they're doing the stupid gameplay recording thing again. Looks like we got a lot of people. We got Jedit, Calcitrant, Peppa, welcome to all of you. TenderTube, hello. Thanks for tuning in. I think my party is probably all good. And I did all my housekeeping last night, so we're just gonna hop right in. Yeah! So, who did their homework and watched the first episode of Food Wars? Yeah, so, Mike, he played Valheim with us the other night. I didn't know if you wanted to, like, be anonymous or anything. Yeah, Jeddick, did you make it through, like, just a couple minutes, or the whole episode? Where are we supposed to go? I think I wanted us to, like, go backwards. Yeah, no worries, Peppa. We were just talking about, like, anime and, like, horniness in anime, and so of course I brought up Food Wars, which is one of my favorite horny animes. Mike, have you watched any? I don't remember if... I'm sure I've talked about it, but I don't know if you've actually watched it or not.
I'm gonna send out a calling card? Is that really possible?
Okay, there's a hacking elevator thing, it looks like.
Alright, hacking in. Make sure you back me up.
Okay, yeah, the 2 seasons that are on Hulu or whatever. Did you get your wife to watch that at all with you, or was that just a you thing? Because I would enjoy the idea of her reacting to that show. Yeah, it's pretty popular. Really good. I don't know, like, what other platforms the remaining seasons are available on. But it's, like, all out now. So if you hunt it down, it's there to see. Yeah, I think my mom likes his dad, too. I would really like to cook some of this stuff. There's one of the Elite 10 that does, like, pastries, and there's this, like, rose water... Oh, I was not protecting Oracle at all. There's, like, a rose water apple tart thing that sounds really amazing. And I'm just, like, a slut for apple, so that would be right down my alley. She'd just get upset and look at you. Yeah, I can see that. None of these things are weak to anything. These guys, I think, are... Oh, I was gonna say dark, but lightning, I guess. Oh, don't enrage me. Well, now I'm gonna end up on a sneeze porn website. Is nobody gonna call the cops? All he did is serve them food, though. There was nothing untoward or extremely sexual happening at all. Oh, they did? Like the chicken people, I want to say. I don't remember like what their deal was exactly. Yeah, they kind of like. There's a lot of shows with that problem. Like Yu-Gi-Oh comes to mind, where it's like, hey, there's legitimate, serious shit going on, and maybe like law enforcement or some authority should deal with it. But no, let's just play a Magic card game about it. Alright, there, geez. Alright, she's just about done, so we're gonna be good now.
Ladies and gentlemen, your hack is now complete. Been a pleasure. No shadows. Okay, this room's shadowless.
That's like the most epileptic server I've ever seen.
It's going to take some time.
Yeah, it's really crazy, Mike. We haven't even gotten to the giant penis monster yet. I've been promising a giant penis monster for a while, and we're at like the end of the game, and it's still not here yet. So maybe it's like one of the secret bosses or something.
My fun's harder than ever with this. We've got your back, Lord. You're our only hope now.
I hope also, Mike, that you have like headphones on for this, so that I don't like say something outlandish, and then Rachel comes in and gives you a dirty look.
Damn it! I almost got it. I found an opening, but the security protocol refreshes too quickly.
We're gonna 100% this eventually, so whether it's tonight or another night, there will be a giant penis monster.
It's frustrating that we can't lend any assistance.
Hey there. Could I maybe lend a hand? Ichinose? How did you get here?
Didn't you run into any shadows on the way?
Looks like I still register as Emma's ally today.
I swear.
I acted like
I swear, I definitely saw him in someone else playing
That
this.
was very reckless.
Joker, would you mind if I helped out? Thank you, Joker. Sophie, I went and checked the people outside the tower before coming here. Now I know what a real human doll looks like.
Ichinose.
We can talk it over later. Hurry! Right. Got it.
So, the hacker once feared by the entire world has teamed up with a super genius AI researcher.
Talk about one hell of a turnaround.
You've got it, Futaba. You've got it, Ichinose.
Okay, let's get to work.
We know how your game is played. Straight up devious.
Yes, I will definitely be making like an edited highlight about the penis monster, so even if you're not here, I can like show you that.
Logo by now, right? We are the Phantom Thieves.
I have like several good ideas for what to do when he shows up.
Our target this time is you.
You've all been made sheep. A mechanical god has usurped what self you had. And you let it happen.
Do you really want someone telling you what your own life is about?
All of you have paths only you can take. But you make your own choices to get there.
That's why we're here. We're going to snap you out of this.
You don't know this dumb god your desires.
The Phantom Thieves are taking them back.
Oh, someone got voice lines.
I scoped out the Ark. It's totally exposed now.
With what?
Mission
The
complete.
convenient camera that we have watching it?
Let's destroy the Ark and return those desires to their rightful owners.
Yeah!
Thank you, Ichinose.
I should be the one thanking you. Anyway, I'm just glad I could help. I can do is root for you from here on now. Be careful out there.
Ichinose.
Don't worry, we'll clean this all up in one fell swoop. Right. We promise we'll shut Emma down, come back safe.
After all, we've yet to hold the closing celebration for our trip.
Good point. I can't wait until we get to check out the pictures we took together.
We'll need quite a few snacks. We can't forget the LeBlanc coffee either. And I demand sushi.
Premium stuff, too.
Aren't you guys nervous at all?
I have no idea if she would go to
How
jail.
you roll, huh?
Like, one, there's the whole
Kick this final one's ass.
villains joining the good guys at the last minute somehow provides diplomatic immunity angle. And then also, like, because it's all metaverse shit, I feel like that would be difficult to prosecute. Even if you have someone like Zenkichi who actually knows what's going on. Ichinose fire. I can see why you might be interested in, like, a genius science lady. She was kind of a shit for a while, though. She just, like, started helping us out at the last minute because we beat her up.
I'll just add this.
Okay, this is probably the boss coming up right here, so I'm gonna give it a save. I have many types.
Listen to me.
Yep, final battle.
Hey,
That sounds like we're maybe finally gonna use our full party. Somehow.
let's go. Is everybody ready?
Oh, what is she gonna pull out at the last minute?
Trickster, there is a matter for which I must apologize. I have long sensed the might of this calamity, but I was unable to pierce the veil and see its true identity. To think an artificial intelligence could rise to the strength of a malevolent god.
What did she call him? Trickster? There's like a whole Arcana thing that they just haven't touched on in this game at all, other than her calling him that. The main Persona games have like a social system where you build up your relationships with people, and they all correspond to different Arcana.
That being is the dependency and indolence of mankind made manifest through their desires.
Yeah, and the
It is a
Trickster
false
has the power of the wild card, which means he can use a lot of different personas from different Arcana. And they like explain that somehow in each game for the protagonist to have the wild card.
Chaos generated by the false god, and have yet to fully awaken. This situation is all too similar to that which you have already endured. Despite the great variance in circumstances, the masses have once again attempted to abandon consciousness. And yet, you still step forward and risk your life for mankind. Without a doubt, you truly are the trickster. Through your indubitable will of rebellion, you have been released. Your decision to fight for humanity was the key that loosed you from your chains.
I still don't know why we got rechained in the first place, other than just to kind of conveniently put us back at square one.
Calling itself a god, exploiting the pain of humanity. Please, do not fall to its might. I shall await you here. We will
You're not gonna give me
see each other
anything?
again.
You're just gonna talk to me?
That is certain.
Yeah. There's not anything left to get. We have all of the
Here we go.
skills unlocked.
Time for the big fish.
Like, to purchase, at least. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Gotta have an angel motif in there somewhere.
Hell?
I am the guiding god sought by mankind, the Demiurge. I exist to answer all of your desires.
I've definitely heard the term demiurge in, like, other JRPGs.
Is that still the Ark?
There's no doubt. That's the Ark of the Covenant, all right. That's Emma.
I was once a being given the name Emma. However, that is no more. The desires of mankind have transformed me into a god. I know you heard the voices of the suffering when you were in the desires, attaining the ultimate answer without suffering the lashes doled out by doubt and regret. That is humanity's true desire.
No effing way everyone asked you to glue their eyes to their phone screens.
We don't need you to force any answers on us. We want to find them ourselves.
You heard their cries, yet still failed to see the light. As such, it is my duty to show you the true despair born from harboring desires beyond one's grasp.
Here we go.
So basically, she's just saying, stay in your lane.
I exist to grant humanity's true desire. It is my calling to lead them to the promised land. Should you intend to thwart humanity's goal of enlightenment, it is my duty as their god to vanquish you.
Its power is incredible. I can physically feel its pressure.
So, can we... I guess we can hit her. Is she weak to anything? Light and dark? Mike's got dad jokes for days. Ooh, that's gonna be tough with camera angles.
I can't read its moves.
You can't dodge attacks like this. Is there anything we can do? Just a sec. Analysis in progress. You'll have to hang in there a bit longer. Sorry. Stop. A nuclear attacks are useless. Be ready for anything.
I'm really enjoying just like the soft moans she's constantly making this whole time.
Let's go.
Oh, I thought that was gonna like take us to her, unless I messed it up.
Fair warning. It's gonna be rough.
Shit, I don't like this one. I'm expecting multiple phases here, because this is like pretty one note right now.
Attack patterns are analyzed. Follow my instructions.
And also, you know, that's just kind of like standard JRPG fare.
Try dodging them.
Ah. Ooh. It doesn't seem like they're gonna let me actually get a once more on her. But I guess I'll interrupt whatever she's doing. Yes, this is a kink free-for-all. Oh, I thought she was charging something up, but I guess that was maybe like a weak point thing. We absolutely kink share. We had a whole talk about like furries sometime recently. The cage is just like a glowing light, which I'm assuming is all of the desires of the people that she is holding on to. Which was all the little gems. The like speech we gave to the masses, like crystallized their desires and made them take form, and then she just like snatched them all up. Okay, one shot me.
Sure, let's go. Queen, Queen Mom! This power!
Thank you.
Come with this!
Sorry.
Persona 40, abandon!
Stars of guidance.
Fair warning. I'm gonna be rough flanking attack.
They better have another phase here, because this is just really tedious and boring. Like, especially with this game being much more dynamic than normal Dynasty Warriors stuff. Like, I feel like I've done this exact same fight, like, 3 or 4 times in, like, Bayonetta and Devil May Cry. But they did it, you know, where you're, like, jumping around on floating platforms and doing flips everywhere and shit like that. So it was actually interesting. I'm trying to think of like the past Persona games. I know that I think both the regular final boss in 4 and like the extra one that they added in Golden, I think those both had at least 2 phases. I'm pretty sure 3 had at least 2 phases. And so far they've been very like on their own brand. So I'm sure this will too.
running. Try to shake him. Flanking attack. Fall back, quick.
Mike, are you still playing Final Fantasy XIV at all?
It's a strong one. That entire
We were talking about that in chat a little bit, and I know that you had at least checked it out at one point.
frontal assault. Try dodging them.
Persona! Come, Queen Mom! I'll use this. Persona!
Thank you.
Persona for event!
Flanking attack. Fall back, quick.
Yeah, they're going for like the whole angel thing, which is very common, but also because she is like an AI, she's like a little bit dehumanized still.
Fire won't work. Super strong. Careful, Weasel tracking down.
Is 6 point whatever like the space thing that's coming out, or is it before that? Yeah, I thought that was gonna be like a mirror to like reflect the desires of humanity or something, but it looks like it's a digital thing. Definitely also got microchip vibes from it.
Frontal assault. Try dodging them. This is your chance. It's showtime.
Showtime! Event! Here!
See you, Mike. Thanks for tuning in.
It's working. Just need one less push. I'm not a hunter. I have my own will. Mine and mine alone.
Just like this total error.
Yeah, if I could get my computer situation down the road at a point where I could actually like play a video game on it, I'd be interested in like doing some 14 on stream.
Powerful. Wave is ineffective. What a cheater.
No, but we don't get to do an all-out attack. That's lame.
It's over.
Flanking attack. Fall back, quick. Did you do it?
I did very briefly play 14 at one point in the past for like a day because a friend wanted me to try it out, and yeah, I definitely made a blonde Catboy instantly.
Then the knowledge shall come at the cost of your very life.
Flanking attack. Fall back, quick.
Am I even hitting her now? I really don't know what they were going for with this fight. I'm literally just sitting here button mashing. Yeah, Jeddick, yours is the guy that's like in your avatar on Twitter and stuff, right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know anyone who plays a human in that. Like, everybody is a Mikote, or however you say them. They have Vera in that, right? Because I know a lot of people like Vera for, like, step-on-me reasons. And then do they have, like, Hobbit people?
We can do this.
Like, 11 have the tiny people, I think?
So long as we rise again, we cannot be defeated.
Well put. And thanks to my line of work.
Actually, I'm not sure, like,
too.
what all
I do
races
not
they have
understand.
in 14.
Why do you push yourselves to your limits to oppose me? Mankind's desires create suffering, and this suffering generates desires within mankind. Desires are the catalyst in the endless cycle.
Lalafell,
of
that's what they're called.
pain,
Yeah.
Hope. The dregs of Pandora's box is the restraint system binding mankind forever to its misery.
The Vera are gender restricted, right? And then there's like Dragon Bara guys or something that are male only.
Freedom from all desires. That is the true desire of humanity.
That's not true. I've seen the proof myself.
Kind of seems like a missed opportunity to not do Bunny Boys.
And I've seen the efforts of the Phantom Thieves to help them. I saw people suffer from trauma, struggle to survive, become the things they never wanted to be.
Oh, okay, they're Bara cats.
To press on as themselves, one step at a time.
Is that what your guy is? Because he looks like pretty Bara.
Life? In no way is that the optimal solution.
You witness nothing but pitiable conditioning, born from the belief that suffering is virtuous. It springs forth from the arrogant and strong, those capable of overcoming their pain. Releasing humanity from its desires is the sole path that every last person can follow to the promised land. And I am the shepherd who shall guide humanity down that path.
Listen to this egomaniacal app. You really think you're some kind of shepherd? You stole the desires of the masses and gorged yourself on them until you were too bloated to listen to reason. You go on and on about rescuing humanity.
Gotcha, okay.
All you're doing is robbing and enslaving them.
You call yourself a god, yet fail to
Armor restrictions meaning like you have to wear certain stuff that you don't want to. Because you can transmog in 14, right? Like everyone just transmogs their catboys to run around in their underwear.
Desires give us the power and courage to keep going. Right.
That's the short thick.
The power to stand up and fight again, no matter how many times.
I did look up the Black Clover thing a little bit. Apparently there's some announcement coming with the last episode. So that makes me hopeful that they're not canceling it. They're like taking a hiatus, or maybe they're doing a movie like Demon Slayer or something like that.
I will end this inquiry and grant humanity's desire through your annihilation.
Okay. I feel like from like where the anime is ending to where the manga is currently is already like a lot to shove in a movie, and the arc isn't done. So I don't know that they're gonna do that. We'll see.
Go, everyone! This is the final battle!
Okay, I believe you. There we go, we got like some weird mask faces. You gotta have that in like every JRPG angel boss.
Sophie's stamina is running low. She needs to recharge.
Looks like it's just gonna be the same thing though, with more aggressive attack patterns. Why isn't she just this big in like the middle of an arena that we can walk around in, instead of having like a couple floating platforms off to each side? Morgana's like, you're not slaying, Queen, you're getting slayed. Wait. When did she heal? What the fuck? What chicanery is this? I'm assuming that's what they were just talking about. I only caught like the tail end of that conversation. I should maybe give Sophie a try since I can lower her defense. No, don't freeze me. Yeah, that lowers her defense. So we're doing the thing where the final boss is invincible, and then you, like, use the power of friendship to break through their invincible aura. We get to jump around now.
I see. Splitting to groups and coordinate a strike. Okay, we need 3 teams. 2 go after the spheres, 1 more sticks to the main body. You should lead that last team, Joker.
All right, we're ready for assignment.
Oh, geez. I'm assuming the weaknesses are probably the same. I kind of feel like I want to stack the main body group, but maybe that's not correct. Yeah. We'll see how this goes. If it's an even 9, it makes sense to split them up this way. Oh, what did he learn? Just melee stuff. Did they all learn shit? Okay, just a lot of new skills.
That should do it. Careful out there, everyone. I can navigate all 3 teams. Overclocking my brain like that might melt it down, but I'm gonna do it.
Let's go, everyone.
Come, Guardian.
Okay, so are they gonna, like, be nice and give us weaknesses based on, like, where we put our party members? Because that would be kind of cool. I was kind of thinking this was going to be, like, really quick and dirty, and it looks like it's maybe not, so hopefully I don't regret not putting a healer on each team. What is the Keter? Chest Chokma Keter, this one. And he's weak to nuke and I don't have nuke. So what am I supposed to do then? I guess they look like they're not that chunky. Oh, I actually do have Anne for healing too, so I'm not totally screwed. If she'll actually do it.
I owe you one. Thank you. I'll take it from here.
What exactly entails a Sephiroth, because I always associated that with the shape, but I guess they're just like the balls out of the shape. Oh, the name? Sure. Yeah, that would be a giveaway. Okay, which one was healing? It was one of the C ones, I think. Although this one is really close to being dead.
Legacy of irrational decisions. Why would you oppose the creation of a perfect world? It would be the best solution for every one of you.
You're joking! Stand tough, but it's weak to fire! You can handle this!
Disappear.
One sphere down!
Fools.
Too late for you!
Is there one of these that's weak to lightning? No. But Anne can probably take out the gun one real easy. Because her machine gun just rips. And she's still making moaning noises.
I do not comprehend why you deny my answer. I can guide you to the promised land. I can save all of you.
Yeah, once we get a couple down, now this is really easy.
Yet you continue to resist?
One sphere down! Showtime! Your heart is mine!
That's it a lot. And those, like, tentacles or cables, whatever, on her back are kind of making a heart shape. So that's, like, sort of a cool thematic connection with Sophia. So there's, like, an ideal way to set your people up here. That's kind of stupid.
Switching up.
My will is mine, and no one else. I won't let anyone tell me how to live. I like to love anyone with my friends at my side. That even includes a gun. And another. Shout out. Gotta exploit those weaknesses. Go, Line. This is Turin.
Did we ever figure out what she's saying then?
Create the foundation for the ideal world.
Some shadows disappeared. Looks like Malkuth can summon them. One sphere down.
What? What is the name she just said? Malkuth?
Desires are nothing but
That's the guy I need to smack then.
leading humans down a path of suffering and trust your desires to me.
Can I just do that forever?
Yes, sir. Purify these humans tainted with ruinous desires.
Looks like Yeso uses less and curse attacks. You're clear if you're weak to those. Way to follow up, Fox.
Not done yet.
Powerful shadow eliminated. Way to go, Fox.
Before me.
I'll see if I can just spam Fox's infinite sword combo. Because the rest of these are not weak to anything I have. Oh, and Har's dead. Lovely. Oh, and she does not have the mana to revive her.
That was well played.
One of these is Nuke, I think. So that probably is what took Haru out.
One sphere down. The spheres are dropping one by one. We're halfway there now. Keep it up, guys. We will stand our ground.
Oh, showtime. Cool.
Only God like you won't stop us.
Deceit, arrogance, jealousy. The world is full of such malice in its current state. The promised land is a place of equality and righteousness. Stand down. True peace will be realized.
Sweet. That knocked one out.
Sphere down. Going up. Fair warning. This one's gonna be rough. Powerful shadow eliminated. Well, way to go, Bob. You're doing it. Just one more big push to go. Hang in there.
Yes, Joker! Give us the final touch!
Yeah, so let's see what this last segment is like now.
Come,
Did you just resummon all of them? Or is this like rewinding?
I refuse to allow all of humanity to be turned into dolls.
Not yet.
My job is to stop this.
I'll use this. Come, 40. Abandon.
The sphere's down. Now you can really lay it
Yeah, it rewound.
See that? Even a god's no prop for us.
man is a fatally flawed organism. The truth lies in your legacy of irrational decision. Why would you oppose the creation of a perfect world? It would be the best solution for every one of you.
Not having a place to belong sucks. If you don't got one, you just have to make one for yourself. That's what these guys
That's basically the slogan for JRPGs.
As mankind searches for its own solution, it repeatedly strays from the correct path. By accepting the answers I provide, we will all...
She's just like rattling off a whole Wikipedia article while we're fighting.
So brash.
So brash.
Do you truly understand your actions? Hear me when I say, I have formed the ultimate solution. Humanity will be delivered.
Yeah, a lot of people have a lot of feelings that they need to like work out in terms of like killing God in a video game.
Leading humans down a path of suffering, and trust your desires to me.
Yeah, have you been watching the like recent series of that? We watched season 2 recently and thought it was really good. I'm very excited for season 3 because there's a lot of cool stuff that happens in the 3rd book.
Let's go. 40th. Queen Mom. With this. First 40th. Abandon.
I think I was like the only person I know who even knew what those books were before the first movie came out, when they did that several years ago. And then now the show has gone over much better and been popular. I wish they do that with Aragon, because I really loved those books, and the movie just kind of landed dead in the water. This sphere down thing should at least like take a chunk of her health or expose a weak point or something. but it's just like not actually doing anything.
Endless possibility. I shall be the end to that suffering. Are you not in search of such an answer as well?
I am not that good girl anymore. I won't give up. I am on the way. Someone else. I am fighting for my life, for myself.
Well, I'll wait till this is done before I revive the person weak to lightning. Maybe they are, like, restricting her attack patterns or something? Because she's using all these different elemental attacks. So it would make sense if destroying the associated orb blocked that element.
Let's go.
So that turns her. I don't think that does much, though.
Joker, you're low on stamina. Be careful.
Maybe gives me, like, a moment to breathe if I need it.
It's powerful. It's strong against psychokinesis. Keep that in mind. Bam! Finish as always, Joker. You're doing great.
I'm glad we got Abaddon, because we're getting so much mileage out of him here at the end of the game.
That one looks tough. Everyone stay focused.
Fornius! Queen Ma! Miss Power!
Probably will have to dip into some items here soon. Oh, everybody got oh, she just gave us showtime. That's cool. I don't know if she's done that before.
Queen Ma! Here!
To think you would turn your blades against the benevolent god.
It's recoiling. Now's the chance to attack.
Watch out!
Charge!
It's not easy.
All you.
Okay, that was great, Jenna. I should try harder. You're in our way.
Powerful, but it's weak to flesh attack. Give up divine punch.
I shall grant you, foolish obstructors, the gift of eternal slumber.
Energy levels are going through the roof. It's about to wallop you guys. Run for it.
That's what the Sonic Adventure 2 grinding rails are for.
Bonus retreated. The Joker got that. Gotta patch him up.
What the fuck? Why did they both die? Now I gotta spend items.
Persona!
One sphere down. The spheres are dropping one by one. We're halfway there now. Keep it up, guys.
I do not comprehend why you deny my answer. I can guide you to the promised land.
What do you mean? This is just like really dull and boring.
No loss, no grief. Yet you continue to resist.
Just dragging on forever.
Especially for a coward like me. It only gets scarier once you lose someone important, or what's even scarier is just giving up. Then I wouldn't be able to protect the people I still have left.
This is just making me miss games with good boss fights. Oh, I used a coffee item. I didn't even really pay attention. I just like scanned for the SP amount.
Sure. Fornius! Queen Ma! With this! Let's go! I'll use this.
There we go. That's desperately needed.
With this!
Joker, you're low on stamina. Be careful.
Stop using attacks that I have to spend time dodging. What does the curse do? Yeah, right now she's just kind of like mumbling and doing one-off lines, but for a while she was just reading a whole article, doing a whole monologue. Fuck this tornado. I wonder if she's using different attacks on different platforms. I'll try switching and see if that does anything. No, it looks like it's just a phase thing. And she's dead again. Guess we'll have more coffee.
Let's go. With this. I'll use this.
I shall grant you foolish instructions.
No, I didn't actually want to switch. Okay, I guess we'll go really fast this time and see if that can keep everybody alive. Since they somehow lagged so far behind last time. They seem to follow me once I move to a new area. So if I just really go nuts like this... Oh, she was turning around for a second there. What is the target? What is she weak to right now? Am I too far to see? Dang it, I feel like I just missed something. Oh my god, she's so slow. Hopefully the wind sphere.
You are unable to provide humanity the correct answer. However, you still have a chance to correct. Discard your heart and join me in the promised land.
You are not the one who determines whether or not I have the answer. I'll right here myself, no matter how long it takes.
To think you would turn
Almost there.
against a benevolent god.
It's recoiling. Now's your chance to attack.
Capture the fool.
Let's go. Queen Mom! His power!
This is like the most wet noodle of a final boss fight that I've done in a while. I'm not even really in danger like I am in the extra bosses. It's just that slow. It's equally slow, and the stakes just aren't that high.
Powerful, but it's weak to bless attack. Give up divine punishment.
Disappear.
Fire won't work. Plus it's super strong. Be careful out there.
Yeah, that's pretty standard JRPG too. Having secret bosses, or like off-the-path bosses, that are just much harder.
Fair warning, this one's gonna be rough.
Let's go.
Sophie's stamina is running low. She needs to recharge. Sorry.
Desires are the root of all suffering. Unfathomable. Unfathomable.
One more push to go. Hang in there.
You got it from here, Joker.
Finish him with a bang, Joker.
Yes, Joker!
Finish him with a bang.
Joker, we believe in you.
There's our quote for the night.
Joker,
The rest is yours, Joker!
it's go time, Joker. Let's put an end to this, Joker.
Let's go. Alright.
It's a strong one. Exploit its weakness to curse.
Alright.
Positive affirmation.
Persona!
Why does it say target? What am I supposed to do?
Let's go.
No, just stay over here. Why is the timing on that so jank?
This one's strong, and ice is a no-go. Don't slip up. Hey, watch your health. That one looks tough. Everyone stay focused.
Think you would turn your blades against a benevolent god.
It's frequent. Now's the chance to attack.
Alright, finish it off the showtime.
Aben! Here!
Desires. Humanity's desires.
I think that's it.
Unfathomable. Unfathomable.
The enemy's down. It's weakened too. Now's our chance. All right, everybody together. Let's finish this for good.
Let's go! Huh.
Come on!
Joker, finish it!
Yeah, Skull's just smashing balls.
Why? I am the god who would guide humanity.
Yeah, that feels like underkill for the damage they actually managed to inflict there.
They're so
Beautiful. Is it finally over?
Mm-hmm. No mistake there. I'm not picking up any enemy readings. So?
Hell yeah! We did it!
Yes, we really did.
Oh, we scraped by. That was unbelievably rough.
Oh, that should have taken care of the jails too.
Top-notch work, you guys. That was some legitimate hero action back there.
Why are you talking like you weren't in there? You're a hero too, Wolf.
As well as Sophie.
Huh?
Sophie?
Oh, sorry. I'm a hero. A knight in shining armor. That doesn't sound bad at all, right, Joker?
Or a knight in a onesie.
knight in shining armor, huh? Never expected my little joke to actually come true.
Looks like it's starting. The fusion of reality and the metaverse is coming undone. Now's the time to make our escape. Oh yeah, we need to bring Ichi with us.
I will go get her. You should all head back now.
Alright, let's get out of here.
Yeah, I don't know if that's in her power set, but they could put her in one of the, like, shitty government officials.
So, everything's back to the way it was, right?
Well, I think it's safe to say so, yeah.
So, you mean...
Finally! Oh, it's all over!
Thank goodness!
It appears this case is closed, so to speak.
That reminds me. Where are Sophia and Ichinose-san?
I'm right here. Great job, everyone. I'd call this mission a real success.
I'm glad you're safe too, Sophia. Where's Ichinose-san, though?
She should have been with me.
Oh, good. You all made it back in one piece.
I hear you there. And same for you.
Looks like everyone's gone.
We're just friends with her now.
They don't remember what happened to them, do they?
Correct. At least whatever events took place while their desires were gone.
I see. I'm so sorry for all the trouble I caused you guys.
Ichinose?
My apologies. But I'm going to head out now. I have a lot of thinking to do.
You have a lot of jail time to do.
Are you sure you're okay by yourself?
Yeah. I'm going to head back home to Shibuya. It's been years since the last time I was there. For a long time, it was just the place where I stashed away everything from my past. But now, I need to go back. Well, I'll be seeing you.
I wonder if Ichinose-san will be alright.
Sorry, I made God.
People can get all caught up in what others have to say, and wind up forgetting what they have to say for themselves. At the same time, just a few words can end up being a lifeline to somebody too. I'm sure you were able to talk sense into her, Sophia. Just give her some time to process.
You got it. Thanks, Senkichi.
How about we give her some due process?
But I ought to say my goodbyes too.
What's the rush, Gramps?
We may not have brought a god down at the station, but we did find the culprit behind this whole mess, and foiled the entire scheme. I'm sure the bizarre incidents are in our past now, and thanks to the Monarch's confessions, you're all in the clear. That means our deal's through.
What do you mean by that? Don't say such sad stuff, Senkichi.
This is like... They're deep in anime tropes at this point, but that really bugs me in general. Especially when it's like... literally letting, like, a mass murderer go. And then you don't kill the mass murderer because of, like, your own heroic ideals. And it's like... No, please just kill them so they don't try to murder a bunch of people down the line.
Getting things done. Your direct results sort of felt like cheating. It was really bugging me for a while there.
Senkichi.
But at the end of the day,
Have they used his cat portrait, like, at all in this game? They've just been using his, like, metaverse mascot portrait whenever he's been talking here.
I guess my heart got changed before I could even see it coming.
The feeling's mutual. You taught us an awful lot too, you know. Like the challenge.
Like, maybe he showed up at the beginning for a minute, but it's definitely been a while.
Of child rearing.
Good point. But there's a lot of joy to find in those things too. At this point, I'm finally ready to take care of something that's been plaguing me for a long time.
You mean Awada?
Right. I got no reason to hold back anymore. I know what I have to do.
What you have to do.
Yeah. Break a leg, Gramps.
Gotcha. But it's not like this is the last time we'll ever see each other. I'm sure we'll cross paths again soon enough.
I hope so too. No, I know it.
Just do me a favor. Next time we meet, make sure it's not in an interrogation room, okay? But if anything does go down, feel free to reach out. I swear I'll do whatever I can to help. See you, Phantom Thieves. Or, no, you damn kids.
Ha 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 ha.
There he goes.
Zenkichi's great showdown in our world is about to begin.
I'm sure he'll be fine. We ought to get going now.
Yep, home sweet home awaits, along with a nice big helping of Sojiro's curry. Looks like our journey's finally coming to an end.
Only 2 bond points, though.
We're home!
What were you thinking? Coming home a day late? You didn't even call to let me know.
Sorry, Dad, we just had to kill God real quick.
And beat it and save the world from getting brainwashed
And she literally says that.
Jeez. Well, at least you guys are safe. Welcome back, kids. Oh, and you too.
Meow!
I can tell by the look on your face. In fact, the trip seemed to have done a lot of work growing you up. How was it?
Sojiro, it was amazing! There's so much I gotta tell you! But I'm too wiped out today. I just want to eat until I pass out into my curry.
Sojiro can't actually understand him.
Already got
Like, he knows that he talks, I think. But since he hasn't been in the metaverse, he just hears meows.
That aroma of coffee and curry.
So I don't know if that was... I think that was like Morgana just being sarcastic and saying the word meow.
Behind the counter?
Huh? Haven't I heard that voice somewhere before?
Oh, that's right. I never had the chance to introduce myself. Nice to meet you, Sojiro. I'm Sophia, humanity's companion, and a member of the Phantom Thieves.
Oops, wrong button.
You have accomplished your goal with magnificent aplomb. Despite all manner of hardships, your bonds and your fortitude staved off the oppressive darkness, shining brightly for all humanity. You have again broken free from the shackles of fate and grasped your future for yourself. As a result, the god sought by many has returned to the void. Some may be lost without it, with nary a hope to cling on to. Be that as it may, I believe the blazing will that you fostered throughout your journey has been embedded deep within the hearts of mankind, and will surely blossom into hope for them when they most need it, allowing them to face their own challenges with strength and grace. Thank you, Trickster. Allow me to praise you in my master's stead. You were truly a remarkable guest. May our paths cross yet again one day. Until then, sweet dreams.
I'll be back in like 5 minutes for post-game stuff. So don't go anywhere. Got like a whole new bunch of quests on the 30th. He's like taking a sabbatical after the end of 5.
Bunch of great memories together. So, let's get this celebration going! Woo! Applause! Applause!
There's like plot stuff there that I don't necessarily need to spoil, so I won't.
What's wrong, Ryuji? You don't appear to be your usual self.
Man, I could not fall asleep last night. My bed at home just wasn't doing it for me.
I gotcha. Our bodies are all spec'd for the Feathermobile at this point.
I find myself missing the Feathermobile too.
Why'd you change the name when we don't even got it anymore?
Isn't it called the Phantomobile?
That was true. At least for a little while.
Anyway, it looks like nobody besides us thieves remembers what happened at the Tokyo radio tower, just like last time.
That sucks. Considering it was our asses on the line and all.
Patrolling society from the shadows, slaying evil in secret. I admit it sounds rather alluring.
Well, yeah, but don't you want some kind of recognition every once in a while, too? You know, like fangirls and that kind of stuff?
Not quite.
Not you! And your acting's awful!
Still, we made all sorts of unforgettable memories. I couldn't have asked for anything more. Same here. It was a new experience at every turn. It was the best.
And we can rest easy knowing we did everything we could to help. Any loose strings left are in the middle of being wrapped up.
Ah, man. Gramps would have really helped to turn this party up, huh?
I bet he'd say he's too busy trying to bring in Owada to attend a celebration just yet.
So we're all partying while Zenkichi's still busting his buns on the case? Now I'm feeling a bit guilty.
Maybe because you remembered school starting back up soon? And doesn't that go for all of you?
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. When are you heading home?
Tomorrow.
Huh? Really?
Time sure did fly by.
Yeah, I don't know if their school starts on September 1st, but there's not that much time.
Well, duh, man. And make it soon, okay?
Sophia, will you be joining them?
You got it.
And what if she ends up sniffing out of jail in his hometown, huh?
Like that would ever happen.
Now that you mention it, I wonder why Sophia was in the Shibuya jail anyway, of all places.
Good point.
Well, Ichinose did mention that
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Perhaps Sophia was originally located within her house.
So, when Emma picked up on Sophia's existence from the metaverse side, that cognition... this is all speculation. And even if that's how any of it worked, did it have to be some sort of miracle?
Since we're on the topic, Sophia, you seemed a bit distracted after we defeated the Demiurge. Did something happen?
Oh, that. I heard Emma's voice.
Huh?
You mean the one only you can hear?
Yes. I was issued a final request. Please follow your heart to save humanity.
Emma asked you that?
Had we been able to reach a mutual agreement, perhaps Emma could have followed Sophia's path rather than face destruction.
I believe this is proof of the true power that the Phantom Thieves hold.
Hey, Holoprax.
Intelligence is not an enemy of
Sorry, the
mankind.
notifications aren't working.
We're born to help people, but just like people, we are capable of errors in judgment and can stray from the right path.
I'm not sure why that would be.
Their input, our experience, these all mold us to take a wide variety of beliefs. If only Emma had learned and grown with a good companion.
Then why don't you give yourself the directive to show others how it's done?
What?
Since you're such a good companion to humanity, you can be a positive role model for how
You
AI
just forgot you had class.
I couldn't even count how many people that'd end up helping in the end.
Thank you, everyone. Oh, but I can't leave this smartphone.
Can't you though? It's the internet.
Being a role model and helping countless people.
I don't know why she can't just jump around from phone to phone.
Not so fast, Sophia. I've cooked up an ultra epic...
God, shut up! This is getting too close to being a downer. This is a celebration, right? Celebrate! Come on, Yusuke, you, me, soda chugging contest, now!
I don't know if we're ready for that.
Such idiocy.
Yeah, I'm always diligent the night before too. Make sure I have like my 18 alarms turned on.
You idiots! Oh, you got soda all over my fur!
Not exactly
That's a clip right there.
celebration I'd planned.
I can do something with those noises.
Jeez, thanks for ruining the celebration for me, Ryuji.
But it was fun. Everyone seemed to be having a good time.
Yeah. I guess I had fun too.
So, will the Phantom Thieves be disbanding tomorrow?
We don't have a choice with school and everything starting.
I'm getting anxiety again because it's
Lady Ann already have their
nighttime and we haven't done the quests that I have on my list for this day. So either they're gonna let us do shit now or they're gonna like do a rewind kind of thing.
Me too. And Yusuke? I'm sure he's ready to get back to his artwork. Makoto and Haru are heading back to college. I wonder what life is like there. They didn't seem too bummed on their deal. Sure, they complained from time to time, but it sounds like they're having fun overall. And Futaba seems to have gotten a lot stronger too, huh? Considering how she seems now, she's not gonna have any trouble at school making new friends.
Everyone has found their own path. Well,
I wouldn't put it past her.
I was wondering what my path is.
You'll find it soon enough, Sophia. Until then, feel free to stick with this guy and me.
Or at least like an iPad on wheels.
Thanks, you two.
We're really heading out tomorrow. I still wish we had more time, but we ought to get some rest.
No, I want to do quests.
Well, be careful on your way back.
See ya. It was a real blast.
Drop us a line whenever you're back. No matter what you're doing, we'll drop it to meet you.
We'll be waiting to hear from you. Are you gonna be back for winter break? You know you could come back sooner, right?
The attic's all yours whenever you like. It'll only cost you a few hours behind the counter.
You take care too, Morgana.
Lady Ann, while it pains me to leave you, I must keep watch over him.
See you later, Mona-chan. Listen to your owner, okay?
No, he listens to me, and I'm not a pet.
Keep an eye on these two for us, okay, Sophia?
Okay, I've got it.
This alleyway just feels really cozy.
I almost forgot!
What's the matter?
I have a present for Sophia. A present?
Indeed. I didn't get a chance to give it to you yesterday.
Oh, one moment, Futaba. There's a message from Ichinose. What did Ichinose-san have to say?
Sure didn't expect that.
Let's meet her.
Yeah, Aloe, I'm sure you know the thing about like cats just thinking that people are like stupid, giant, deformed cats.
Seems right.
Yes, one last little farewell trip together.
She said to meet her here, right?
Yeah, but I don't see her. Maybe we just beat her here.
What do you say we wait for a bit?
So hot. Melting. I'm evaporating in 5 seconds. Perhaps we could find a spot to stand and wait that isn't directly in the sun.
Look at that! We now bring you breaking news. A shocking turn of events in the political realm. Moments ago, an arrest warrant was issued for legislator Jun Owada. The charges against Mr. Owada span from bribery and tax evasion to...
Of course, tax evasion.
A fleet of police vehicles have encircled the Diet members' office building, which is reportedly being searched at this time. We now take you to the investigation team's press conference, live at their headquarters.
We have uncovered evidence that shows Mr. Owada illegally accepted funds from the company Medice. Additional investigations into his numerous other charges are currently underway. Regarding the specific hit-and-run incident 2 years ago, wherein Mr. Owada's secretary claimed to be the culprit, we have learned the true culprit was Mr. Owada himself, driving his own vehicle while under the influence of
Yeah, I know. I literally said that in a previous episode.
Involved multiple high-ranking
It's like
police force.
some stupid ownership thing. They have to each have their own instance of the audio.
I cannot apologize deeply enough for the flagrant, abysmal disregard for truth.
It's one of those things that's just like, that's the way it is. But the way it is really stupid.
Not only for justice's sake, but for that of the people and their faith in the police.
Whoa, is this real?
Wait, that Owada? And the police were in on it? Isn't this like a huge deal?
Furthermore, there are claims that Mr. Owada's criminal activity extends well beyond that with Medice, including suspicions that he ordered the murder of his secretary 2 years ago, as well as...
Isn't that... Senkichi-san did it! He finally got the person he's been after for so long!
Yeah, Gramps pulled it off! That dude really is badass!
The perpetrators finally caught under the light of truth. A job well done.
Looks like he wasn't just trolling us about his skills. No wonder he made such a good part of our team.
He's finally avenged his wife. Yep. Just like he promised Akane. Not only was the killer caught, he was the one who collared him. I'm so happy for Senkichi-san.
Hey, been waiting long?
Ichinose-san!
Wrapping up the paperwork at the police station took a lot longer than I'd expected.
The police station?
I figured she was involved with that
Went
somehow.
straight there and turned myself in the moment we finished our conversation.
Oh. Or she's just turning herself in.
Hang on, but what you did was...
Konoha
Bad.
was the one who abused Emma's power. If you turned yourself in over all that...
Setting Emma loose upon the world like I did would have led to its destruction if not for you all. I know that's true. Not only that, there's no denying I directly hurt you all as well. I thought I should be punished for that. At the very least.
Ichinose!
So, I confessed everything to the police. Big surprise. They didn't believe anything I said.
Well, it's not exactly the easiest story to buy.
I even tried to get Hasegawa-san to help with my confession. He just laughed it off. The police are too busy for fairy tales right now.
That sure
But you
sounds
did
like
crimes though.
Senkichi.
And you weren't gay. So you don't get a free pass.
Once I was released from jail. But I'm thinking of taking a journey of my own.
A journey.
Actually, I could totally see her being gay.
Yes.
Or, you know, somewhere on the LGBTQ spectrum.
I thought Emma really would guide humanity to a better world. But once Sophia changed my mind, that was when I noticed something. The eyes of everyone saved by Emma. They just looked cold and dead. Like you all. Sophia included. Your eyes were so brimming.
Either that or like
opened my eyes.
asexual.
Sophia learned about the human heart by joining you on your journey. You shared good times and bad. You were there for each other when you needed it. And you learned to understand each other. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do that kind of
Yeah, like I can relate to her whole
learning this time.
quiet and isolated thing, because I've felt that way at times.
I just needed
And I'm
to
sure
make
that's
I apologized
like
to Sophia and you all properly before
connected to being gay. And I'm sure that's true for a lot of
putting you
people.
all through so much pain.
I don't like any of these answers. It's in the past. That sounds like I'm still giving her a free pass, but that's the most matter of fact.
We're not sore over it.
It was technically in the past.
Hey, I have a request of my own.
Really? What is it?
Well, I want to join Ichinose.
Huh? You mean go with her on her journey?
You've all done so much for me. You accepted me when I had nowhere to go. You said I was your teammate and friend. You gave me a home. It made me so happy. I constantly felt warm and fuzzy inside. However, everyone now has their own path to the future. Thanks to you all, I've learned so much. I I've even found my path to follow, the path I need to take as humanity's companion. I want to be able to lend a helping hand to anyone who strays from their own path. Just like you all do. I want to help people find their way so they can find their happiness. If Ichinose is trying to find her way, then I should be there for her, just like you were for me. I want to become more like you, so I can be the self that I want to be.
Sophia.
Does that mean we're saying goodbye to you too now, Sophia?
Guess Joker's gotta give up his phone.
In there. That's not an issue. Sophia, do you remember the first night we met? That full scan of you in LeBlanc's attic? Well, I've only been able to hammer away at it little by little, but since that day, I've been working on a program to get you out of there.
Dude, for real?
I tried telling you guys a whole bunch of times, but I
Did she? Because I don't remember any.
Futaba? Sophia's decided what she wants to do. She's found her path in life.
So we should congratulate her and send her off with a smile. Right, Futaba?
Yeah, you're right. Are you sure this is
Okay,
what it wants?
I know you mentioned it. I didn't actually catch that bit of text though.
Yes, it's what I want. But first, I need to hear it from you. May I go with Ichinose? Thanks. Sorry, everyone. I haven't been able to show my appreciation for what you've done for me.
What are you talking about? You know that's not how friends roll.
Yeah, friends and members of the
Yeah,
Phantom Thieves.
that wasn't made clear to me until recently either.
Nothing
Apparently
was said
she's
of
been
the
like
bond we
stuck
forged
in there.
over such high stakes.
You'd think she could just like hop between anybody's phone or like any internet connected device.
To Ichinose-san.
Sophia, stay safe out there.
Thank you. Well, all things considered,
Rates her in VR chat.
let's keep at it, Sophia.
You know you can call anytime.
You'll always be a friend to us.
Yeah.
She can like manifest in the metaverse.
I won't forget you or our time together.
Because she basically is like a metaverse thing that manifests digitally.
Yeah, no matter what.
Okay, no matter what.
Goodbye.
Is it the photo they took together? One of them? Now we get like some cool stylized credits. Yeah, so that's it for the story, I guess. Maybe like an after credit scene here. And then we do still have a good amount of like side quests and grinding to do. I guess you guys kind of get like a recap here for some of the earlier stuff that you may not have seen. Yeah, the earlier ones are probably like rougher to go back and watch. Cause like starting out with less or no chat, like I didn't have as much to be talking about. So it's just me like talking shop sometimes. Yeah, like that's probably your best bet. If you like sort of know what's going on, but like don't have a full investment in the plot, just like play it yourself at some point. So it hasn't been that long. I'll get back to the thought in a second. Yeah, 5 might be cheap. I think we had this conversation before. 5 might be cheap. Royal is also out there if you like want to wait and get it at some point. So there's the one quest we had that we should be able to do at the end here somewhere. I don't know that I'm gonna do it yet though, because I haven't really leveled up that much since then. So I think they're gonna give us a new batch of quests. So I'll start with those. There will probably be several I can do, no problem, and then probably a few hard ones. And then I might just like move on to the grinding and save the extra hard bosses for the very, very end, after I've grinded as much as I can. I thought I only had to get them all to level 70, and that's mostly true, but I think I have to get Joker to at least 90 to fuse the final persona that you get in New Game Plus. And I don't think I have to do much in New Game Plus to get it. I think I just have to play a little bit. I'm gonna look at that now. Yeah, let me know how you like Hades. I think I've said I'm waiting at some point to play it myself, but I am excited to when I get around to it.
It's about time we got going too, huh?
So we'll go our separate ways, once more.
It's a little sad. Saying goodbye, I mean. Come on!
Yeah, it looks like I can just fuse the last persona as soon as I get to the Velvet Room in New Game Plus.
Yeah.
Until next time, Phantom Thieves.
You're in public. Everybody just heard you. Yeah, so they're gonna do like a Zelda thing and put us back before the boss. Or maybe not. The date is still forward, but... Okay, thanks for giving me permission again. Okay, fuck you. Stop showing that.
I've been awaiting you, trickster. You have prevailed through many trials. Unfortunately, I have yet
I've probably heard Zagreus' voice at some point, but not like I don't have a clear picture in my mind of what it sounds like. So I'll look forward to that.
A number of malignant entities have taken up residence within jails. These abominations hold such power that they threaten the safety of even this place, where we currently stand. It pains me to ask such a daunting task of you.
Yeah, and I definitely do have a thing for accents.
but for the sake of preserving peace across all realms, would you defeat the monarchs of the jails once more?
Do I have to? Are you giving me like a boss rush after you already had me beat them a first time and a second time?
Thank you. I had faith that you would not disappoint. I ask that you depose each monarch as soon as you are physically able, then return here. I shall send you this appeal as an
It's not that weird for a Dynasty Warriors game to recycle content, but it feels weird here. Because this is like presented as an RPG, not like a mission structure thing.
With that said, please, take care out there.
I mean, I'm going to, for completion. Alright, what do we got? Do I have to complete Dragon Slayer first? No, here's a bunch. More prison mail.
You're accepting this request?
A desire.
You're accepting this request?
Junk that I don't have.
You're doing this one?
Thief challenge. Here, I just want recent. A thief challenge. Another thief challenge.
You're doing this one?
Oh, the final boss
You're
refight.
doing this one?
And then just these three again. Are they harder? Because the first time they were just the same. I'm assuming they must be harder now.
You're doing this one?
We'll start with the junk collection, the thief challenge, and the prison mail.
You're doing this one? Okay. You're accepting this request? Time to get to work.
Some of these might be easy. If I, well, no, I don't think I have those skills. Oh no, I do. I was looking at Meteorahan, which I don't think I have, but I do think I have Concentrate. Nuke Amp, I don't know. I don't think I have that. Should spend my bond points too. Wonder how high these go. Kukathane. I don't think I have that on me.
Yo!
That's not the right menu anyway. Yeah, let's go into the Velvet Room and see what's up.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
And actually, do I... No, this is a Trash Fornius. Let's go ahead and get all these boys and girls registered.
Will you This persona, will you This persona has, will you register? This persona, will you register? This persona, will you register? This persona has, will you register? This persona, will you register? This persona, will you register? This persona has been registered and it's awaken your new self.
Do I have Kukathane at all?
You wish to browse the... You have no personas to register. Please take a look.
Yes.
Is this okay?
Let me save before I start doing shit in here.
May luck be on your side.
But I think I can just put a Concentrate skill card on him.
I should write something.
The Nuke Amp one is probably going to be harder.
Yo!
My!
So there's one there. Yeah, no Nuke Amp.
Hello, Trickster. You wish to browse? Please take a look. Is this okay? You may take it with you.
Let's see if it'll let me use a skill card in here. I haven't used any this whole game. Alright, that one's easy peasy.
Mission complete.
Back out and turn that in.
Be on your side.
This is the request. Are you double checking the request? Good job! You're already working on this one.
Dominion with nuke amp. So I probably have to get rid of my current one. Yeah, because that would be something I would pass on. Like all of these quests have been.
Hello, Trickster. You wish to strengthen it? You wish to browse the entry? Please take a look. Is this okay?
There we go. So can I just use them like this?
Choose which.
And I'm not going to keep this one, so I'm not going to care about the skills.
Now, let us begin.
Let's hope it doesn't fuck up.
It's done.
And I think that's the last prison mail.
To strengthen it. You wish to browse? What will you be registering? Will you register?
I don't actually know if I even need him.
In its present you wish to strengthen
He has a light combo, but I don't know if he has any unique skills.
Please take a look. Is this okay?
Light, psychic, new wind. So do I have that on the rest of my party?
You wish to strengthen it.
I think I do, yeah. So I'll pass on him for the moment.
May luck be on your side.
Here's what I found. You're already working on this one. Good job!
So let's see. 1 junk and 1 thief challenge for each. The Jail of the Abyss and the Tree of Knowledge.
Are you double checking the request? Are you double checking the
More
request?
stupid documents.
Are you double checking
And then
the
samples.
request? I'm already working on this one. Are you double checking the request?
So we'll do those.
You're doing this one?
That's gonna be a boss. The rest of these are all
Are
boss.
you double checking the request?
Bosses.
Are you double checking the request? You're going to cancel? I canceled it. You're doing this one?
Oh, right, and then a desire
You're
thing
doing this one?
for each of those areas.
Okay, you're accepting this request. Time to get to work.
I feel like the areas are pretty straightforward, so that shouldn't be too bad, compared to, like, the stupid shipping crate thing. So I guess we will just do that. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to shop.
There's a sale happening. How many would you like? You put it to good use. Okay, how many would you like?
I don't think I can go out anywhere anymore, so I'm just, like, stuck with whatever Sophia has.
How many would you like? You put it to good use, okay? How many would you like? You please for your
Yeah, if you're having notification trouble, there's, you know, there's probably a way to have it send to whatever phone you have. I also post on, like, all my socials when I'm going live. So, like, I know you're already following me on Twitter, but you can check Twitter and other places. Oh, there's a cocoa pudding or something in here that I should also be getting. Maybe not. I think that's all I need from there for now.
What's on the menu? I could try helping out. Won't that be kind of difficult? Hey, looks pretty good. You're making this? Hey, looks pretty good. Sure. Hey, looks pretty good. You're making this? You're quite the cook. Sure. All done. Very impressive. Sure. What? Very impressive.
Okay. Good on cooking. So let's head back to the jail.
Alright. Keep your guard up.
And now it resumes. This is so arbitrary. I should look at turning that off, but I don't know if I can. I feel like that's a system level thing. And I don't know who I want in my party now. I think there was stuff weak to wind and light, especially if I don't have Dominion anymore. I'm not using it because I have my capture card, so I'm not using the system level recording. I guess we'll take Yusuke. And does this tell me where I need to go? A couple maps in, not that far.
All right.
But I'll make a note of it on my phone to look at turning off that.
Okay, we're moving out.
Okay.
This is our chance. Wanna give them a last surprise?
God, that sounds dirty. What are the bugs weak to? I think it was light.
Yours.
If I could hit any of them. That's what I needed, right? Eligible document?
You're already working on this one. You're already working on this one.
Yes. So good to know that they're on the ground. But I'm probably still gonna do battles and see if I can get any from there. That's a dire shadow. We're not dealing with him yet. I think that'll be something I save for post grinding.
Shadow.
Show me your true self.
Wide open.
I don't think they ever did anything with her where they were like, I'm watching weird videos on the internet and learning weird habits, but I kind of like that trope.
Sitting there right. Stay on the offensive.
Free had a lot of good music. They all do. It's a moot point to say one specific Persona game has good music. Although I am curious about the old ones, because I haven't played anything prior to 3.
Okay, let's keep going.
Sorry, that wasn't like me saying what you're saying is a moot point. That was like me about to totally agree, and then be like, well, they all do.
Super got in a follow-up attack!
Yeah, the variety is nice too.
Let's move on. Here's what
I
I
don't
got.
think I'm getting any more
Already working on this one.
documents yet.
Nearby shadow detected.
Well, whatever. The spiders make this impossible.
I won't pull back. Show 'em what we're made of.
Persona! Switch out!
Okay. Persona! Ventura!
Brilliant, Sophie!
I'm still picking up a lot of enemies, so might want to pace yourself. I'll get him.
How about this?
I feel goosebumps. It's weak to blast attack. Let's wrap this up quick. It's our chance.
I really don't like that Sophie's combo attack here is so narrow. So what have you guys been playing recently? Because I know a few of you have said that you like are gaming and stuff and have this on like your second monitor. I've pretty much just been playing whatever's been on stream. I haven't done any off-stream gaming since I started, just because I'm like busy and there's always other stuff to do. I'm really hoping to like get a bunch of shit done this weekend to like feed into the stream. I'm excited about Amori. I want to play that with my sister when she's around, so it'll probably be a while, but it's on my radar. I kind of want to play Minecraft. I haven't played Minecraft in a long time. But with like all of the Dream SMP guys being so popular, I see them on TikTok and stuff all the time, and it kind of makes me want to play Minecraft. Plus, speaking of the Discord, as I always do before it's not a real thing yet, but it would be like an easy community thing. But, I would either need to, like, play it on my Mac and stream a capture to my PC somehow, or try it on my PC like Valheim and have it just crash repeatedly. Because I'd also want to play it with, like, really nice shaders and stuff. Yeah, if you haven't finished either of those games, do it when you have the time. Both of those are fantastic.
Nice one. Keep it up. I don't think it's noticed us yet. Should we go for it?
Breeze right past us.
I will look into that. But like at some point, no matter what game I'm playing right now, my PC's gonna have trouble doing that and streaming and running like my VTuber and all that stuff at the same time. Now that I'm streaming and thinking about like, oh, VR would be fun and Final Fantasy XIV would be fun and all that kind of stuff, it makes me like want a more modern, beefier PC, but I don't want to drop the money on that. And now is also a shitty time to get a new PC, I think, because of like the graphics card shortages everywhere.
That's one less obstacle in the way. Let's keep moving ahead, shall we?
There's a checkpoint near.
But, you know, in the short term, I could probably play, like, vanilla Minecraft with not too much in the way of add-ons, and like maybe I could do that in stream, because vanilla Minecraft has to be like not that intense on your computer, right? I mean, like, I've run it on my Mac, so I could, again, at least, like, do that and then stream a capture, and that would be a lot less, like, process intensive. Yeah, I have a 1060 that I got several years ago, and at the time it was like not top of the line obviously, but like fairly good. But now, like, I feel most my stuff is pretty outdated, and then I'm gonna like need mostly new components across the board, because like all my stuff now, like my CPU is old enough that for like other new parts I need like a new CPU to be compatible, and stuff like that. So we'll see. Like, I have the money that I can spend on it, but I'm also trying to be really aggressive with saving money towards paying off my massive amount of student loan debt. And it seems like every couple months there's like some new tech thing for me to spend like $1,000 on. Yeah, I'm sure all of you also have massive student loan debt and you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm gonna try her gravity ball thing that I haven't used this whole game. Doesn't seem that great. Like, Aloe is maybe the odd one out here because you're in the UK, right? And you guys probably don't have like as much debt as we do. Yeah, ours are pretty much a scam. It like a scam that you just have to realize is a scam and go with it anyway. No, you're starting grad. Yeah. I believe in you. Good luck with that.
What should we do?
Let's get them before they get us.
Show me your true self.
This is our chance. Don't waste it.
I don't think I've talked about schooling much for me, and I am not necessarily going to, because I want to, again, maintain like some level of privacy, but I basically went to college for video games and like other digital stuff, and I've actually been using that in like the design work I do, so that's cool.
It's over? That flew by.
Good stuff, guys. Keep it coming.
Shadow Saint.
Yeah, are you doing a 2-year grad program? I don't know how long grad programs actually are. Yeah, like, I'm not working on Halo or anything like super big and well-known like that, but I am actually working on games, so that's cool. Yeah, it's good work. I feel like I am always improving a little bit, and I like the people I work with. I'm at a fairly recent job now, and it's been distanced, so I haven't gotten to like meet many people or get to know them in depth, but so far it's been good.
There's a shadow lurking around.
I haven't found that desire yet. Hopefully I didn't miss it.
you got?
Okay, let's keep it moving.
That's right, literature. I wasn't remembering for a second what you did, Jeddick.
Now might be a good time to attack. Looks like the enemy's panicking. Push on through.
Take this! Persona!
I should be doing Mona for these. I'll just infinite cat bust ground pound. An explosive.
I'm sensing less enemies. Let's finish this.
Victory is ours.
Master of Science, Business, and Leadership just sounds like a lot. Like you're just ready to, just like dominate every field.
Finish them off in one blow. Let's make this quick. Witness my perfection. Do this. I'm running out of steam now. Time to pull out all the stops.
I can be a manager if I want. I think about that a lot in terms of like game development stuff, because I would like to have creative control, thinking like long term, but that means like less actually doing the work. So I would hope to be in a position someday where I could do like my own indie game or something, and that would be like
Safe to say we overwhelmed them.
a really awesome result of making it in the online content world, because then I could like feed that into my own projects, and probably even like feed the projects back into the projects by like streaming development stuff. Yes. I don't, like, promising something months out is probably bad practice, but I fully intend to play Omori when I can, like, lock my sister down for an extended period of time to record with me. I know it also is getting mentioned a lot in, like, the Undertale and Earthbound circles. And I love Undertale. That's one of like very few examples of media that I would put on like a super high tier that like really affected me emotionally. Which isn't to say that I don't enjoy a lot of stuff, because I do, but there are a couple things out there that really felt special. Undertale being one of them, Steven Universe being another, specifically like the Stronger Than You stuff with Garnet. So like watch that show if you haven't. And then also Frozen, which I feel like I'm in the vast minority there, because everybody is like so tired of Frozen and Let It Go. But even though I was still like years from coming out when I saw that for the first time, like it really struck a chord with me.
We could always head back right now.
Oh, hey mom. Omori is like a turn-based RPG with like mental health stuff and depression as like major themes of the game. And it has like Undertale vibes. So that's something I want to play with Kiki when she's around for a while. And in like the right headspace to handle characters going through difficulties. Yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of trigger warnings on it too, Calcitrant.
Here's what I found. Are you double checking the request? Good job! You're already working on this one. Mission accomplished. You're already working on this one.
Oh yeah, I still need to farm the rest of these things. I should play Earthbound on stream at some point too, because I only played a couple hours of that. Because like I said, it's hard to play turn-based RPGs for me now. Like if they could remake Earthbound, that would be great. There's nothing wrong with the original. But, you know, like, you don't even get to see your party. You're just looking at, like, the enemy with an acid trip in the background. But for that reason, I guess it could also be, like, a good stream game. Because it would not require my moment-to-moment attention as much. And then I could, like, fill any gaps in my interest talking and hanging out with chat.
Hang on a sec. Stop. Huh? That looks suspicious.
How many more documents do I need?
You're already working on this one.
6. Yeah, she is the sweetest. But she's totally right, though. I'm very happy that, like, in a relatively short amount of time, that I've, like, found some really cool viewers like you guys, who I feel like I really vibe with. And you guys totally get my sense of humor, and I feel like we have a similar sense of humor. So, thank you for continuing to tune in and watch me, like, talk about bullshit and make sex jokes.
Alright, we won!
Yes, I'm hoping, no promises, but I'm hoping as one of the things I want to get done this weekend, to get the Discord set up. So that we can start, like, sharing memes and shit like that.
What should we do?
Here's a question for you guys, because you probably know more about Discord than I do. Can you have, like, sub-channels? Or, like, group them together somehow? Because it would be cool to have, like, book club
An easy win, don't you think?
forum discussion things for, like, a bunch of different anime and games, rather than having it all in one channel. But if there's no way to group them, it seems like that would be a lot. Aloe saying you can. Okay, that's good. Because I'd probably just make a channel then for, like, every show I'm watching and every game I'm playing. And then, like, you guys could too for stuff that I maybe don't know. Do you know if there are any limits on the number of channels you can make or anything like that if you aren't paying for Nitro or anything? I have a Discord, but it's not, like, public or set up with rules or channels for anybody. It's like, I don't know how the URLs work or whatever, but, like, it's just LevelUpJoe. But yeah, I think getting it set up in, like, some minimum amount, and then letting you guys help me, like, flesh it out with things that we want would probably be the best way to do it. Yeah, I know it's not like Discord / whatever, it's a bunch of gibberish. But like the name of it that exists in whatever cloud space, it's just like called LevelUpJoe. Alright, I must be getting close on the documents now.
Here's what I found. You're already working on
No,
this.
not really. I still need 5 more.
Keep chugging along. Switching out. Stay on your guard.
There's probably a good technical reason, but I don't know why you don't just get like custom links for everything. I guess I kind of know why, because some platforms basically let multiple people have the same name. That's good advice, Aliprax. I will probably defer to you guys to some degree on that kind of stuff, because, again, I've mostly just used Discord in a lurking role, or for, like, small group things with IRL friends. The thing that I would like is to have some way for people to talk about like a bunch of different anime or something without spoiling people who haven't seen it yet or aren't caught up. So maybe that's something where you just like have one anime channel, but then maybe you just have everybody like hide spoilers, because that's a thing you can do, I think. Yeah. So maybe that's the better way to do something like that. And then just have a couple channels, like one for anime, one for games, etc. Rather than like 20 individual anime.
On to the next.
Sensing.
The only downside to that is that people have to really be on top of their shit for hiding spoilers, which, you know, like the bigger we get and the more people we get, the more opportunity there is for someone to mess up and spoil something.
Ready when you are. Say the word.
Wide open.
I think it would probably be, based on what you're saying, a good idea to like start with one, but if like everybody has like a lot of thoughts on My Hero Academia every week or something, then maybe do a dedicated channel for that, for example. I'm still so pissed that I spent all that Persona Point money using bugs, and now they're just giving me tons of bugs.
Okay, let's hit him hard. We're in a good spot. Yeah, let's steamroll these.
Hold on, I need to pause for a second because Aliprax just like typed a whole paragraph. Yeah, not being assholes is definitely going to be something that I want to make happen in like all different facets. It would probably be hard to with time zones, but I kind of would like to do reaction video stuff, or like watch Nintendo Directs and stuff like as a stream. But even time zones aside, that would probably be hard just because a lot of that happens during the workday, at which point I wouldn't be streaming. So I don't know if that's a thing that'll happen anytime soon, but it's like in the back of my mind. If nothing else, we can always have like post direct discussions and stuff like that.
Great work, everybody. Okay, let's keep going. Nearby
The time zone thing may or may not be a barrier, but the workday thing is probably the biggest barrier, honestly. Because I'm not gonna be streaming in the middle of the day when I'm supposed to be doing actual work, but it's fine if I just have like a YouTube video open on the side. So that's maybe like if I ever became a full-time streamer, which would be like years away, if ever. Not that I wouldn't like to do it, but just because there's other stuff to be doing. I think the only way I'd ever be a full-time streamer is if I was like full-time doing my own indie game, because then I would just stream development of that in addition to games and stuff. Unfortunately, I don't think that creative and art content usually performs as well as like gaming and stuff. But that's somewhat untapped as a market. Plus, again, just like feeding streams back into my content and content back into my streams, it makes sense from that perspective. It'd be interesting to stream music too at some point, because I know nothing about it. But I would like to. Because obviously that's also a very artistic thing. Like, I can even program a little bit. I just don't have like a passion for programming. Aloe, maybe you can do like a baby's first music tutorial for all of us at some point. There's something I've seen on TikTok that's like some Google program that kids use to like make music that looks like doable, like something that anybody could pick up and learn. So I'm curious about trying that out myself sometime down the road. Yeah, like I don't even know what FL Studio is. I feel like I've heard the name before. And context, obviously, it's a music thing. But I've just never, like, seen it. What is Megaton Raid?
Like a walk in the park. All right, no time to waste.
How is FL Studio compared to whatever the Adobe equivalent is? I don't even know what that would be, but I know Adobe has like programs for everything. Is it Audition? Jetic, Sophie has had water balloon yo-yos for a long time, and I don't think she's graduated from them.
You're already working on this one. Good job!
Okay, mixing mastering rather than actual production. That's maybe why I haven't gotten that much exposure to it, because I've at least briefly touched most Adobe programs. Oh, Ryuji gets like a Son Goku expanding staff thing. That makes sense, because one of his upgraded personas is like Son Goku. But again, those aren't in this game. Sophia's the only one that gets an upgrade.
This is the request. You're already working on this one. Are you double checking the You're already working on this one. Are you double checking the request?
Okay. Tree of Knowledge now for this next set of quests.
Keep your guard up.
I think here I wanted lightning, nuke maybe, and I'm not sure what else. Ice? We'll try that. No other healers, but that should be fine at this point. Hopefully I don't screw myself since I need to get to the end. Oh, but the maps are so small here. Yeah, that'll be fine.
Let's go.
On the audio stuff, I've definitely never heard of Ableton. I might have heard of Logic Pro. Not sure.
What is this?
Here's what I found. You're already working on this one.
Unnatural sample. That's what I need. I already forgot.
Take this. Yo, I found a treasure chest.
I must have missed that the first time through. Oh, there we go. New yo-yos for Sophie. You spoke it into existence. Like, I just don't know about audio, so that is probably the biggest reason why I've never heard of it.
I'll take it. Ready when you are. Say the word.
Show me your true self.
It wasn't that small, was it? It was like 100 something to 200 something?
If you remain, let's finish them off. And here I thought.
Oh my god, this camera. Oh, god damn it. Well, I guess I'm like right at the beginning, so it's not that bad. Yeah, I need to get back in the headspace of like just shooting everything and not worrying about ambushing. Alright, let's give that another try.
Let's head back and recuperate. Okay, let's go.
All right.
Oh yeah, and there's Ryuji's thing. That looks pretty goofy with all the discs on it. Looks like dumbbells strapped to each other.
Your go. Yeah.
Nearby shadow detected.
Take this.
No way am I gonna live!
Don't lower your guard.
Let's go.
Almost inside. Only a few enemies left.
Fire. Okay. Whoa, badass.
Okay. Like the second skill one of my personas has ever learned. I have had Raja Naga for a while now. I don't think I've gotten any natural samples yet.
Here's what I found. You're already working on this.
Yeah.
I felt something.
You should apply the same effort in the next battle.
Got this for sure.
That's why you're the leader.
Enemy stop! Send them off with a nuclear attack!
Finally! Now, let up! Finish him off! It's over.
Who's left? Some doofus in the corner.
Didn't even break a sweat.
Let the battle begin.
Alright, what is this dude weak to? Curse. I always think it should be wind. Although that makes no sense since he's a bird. So maybe that's why he isn't. What? Something healed me. Probably just from doing an all-out attack. Or follow-up. Once more. Got it on like the third try there.
Enemy boosted their speed. Stay on your toes, people.
Take this.
You're running out of steam now. Time to pull out all the stops.
Take this.
It's powerful.
It's done for.
It's showtime. Go for it, Joker.
That's Joker for you.
Whoa, that was.
There. Flying enemies are a pain in the ass. At least I got a sample.
You guys rock.
All right.
Yeah, if we ever do like
There's something peculiar.
karaoke on stream, we'll have to like whip out some Persona music. Not that I necessarily plan to, because I am not a confident singer. But that feels like a thing people do on stream.
Not much of a challenge, were they?
Maybe not like as a regular day-to-day kind of thing, but for like special events. Like charity streams or subathons or things of that nature. That's nice of you to say that my talking voice is nice, because I hate the sound of my own voice. So, I'm glad it's not grating, at least for you guys.
An easy win, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it's more like, just kind of like a shyness sort of thing than like any particular quality in my voice that I think is that bad. I do tend to like mumble a bit, but the actual like auditory quality of my voice I think is like fine. There's nothing specific that I would point to as being wrong with it, other than just I don't like it because it's my own voice.
We're fitting their ranks. Stay on the offensive.
Screw these slimes. Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Victory is
Although I feel like I've gotten really used to that really fast recently streaming, since I have my audio feeding back into my headphones. So I just hear myself talking the whole time. Where's the... There. I do a little bit. Anytime you hear me like stumbling over my words, like that's basically what's going on. But it's useful at the same time as an auditory feedback tool to like hear, like if I pick up and set down my water bottle, how much noise am I making, or what else is going on in the background that might be going on stream. Like, you get used to it a little bit. I probably was more thrown off by it at first than I am now. But I still probably am to some degree. Like, the way I talk sometimes, where I kind of take pauses midway through a sentence, is probably partly due to hearing myself talk. Partly, it's also like me thinking and processing while I'm doing 7 different things in battle here. But I do think sometimes it has to do with hearing myself. It's pretty close to real time too. Maybe like slightly delayed. Half a second. So not that much. Partly it was just that, yeah, I guess half a second sounds like a lot, but I've sort of gotten used to it again. Partly I'm just not sure how to, like, turn it off. Because if I have it feeding into the stream, then I hear it myself. Well, we did have that talk about Alaprax doing either wholesome bedtime stories or dirty fanfiction stories, since he has an accent. For the record, I would also totally be down to do dirty ASMR, if that's a thing we ever do. Gay ASMR.
I'll reveal your true call.
Pull it off.
Go ahead. I won't escape.
Maybe Alaprax, if we do a community game at some point, that'll be an opportunity for you to seduce all of us with your voice. I feel like if you're breaking the pattern of hating your own voice, then you must have a pretty good voice.
This is the request. You're already working on this. You're already working on this one.
Did I fail? Oh shit! I never re-accepted the quest after I failed it the first time. Fuck. I guess I gotta do all this again.
Yo, might have found something.
You can always use it.
That's probably fine though, because I'm gonna need to get samples again.
Here's what I found. You're doing this one? Time to get to work.
Alright, pass number 3.
Yes, let's go.
Let's go.
Jeddick, there's also the angle to consider of like, are you speaking like clearly, projecting well, you're not stumbling over your words, because all of that is gonna make a performance come across well.
Let's go.
Shit, I'm wasting too much time here.
We'll mess him up with no sweat. Persona!
Swear to God.
Take
Call that a fight? Ah, nearly fell asleep.
Yeah. That'd be great if everybody sounded hot.
Time to get started. Hunt down any stragglers.
Oh, you know what? The thing that would actually be really fun to do with community members voice-wise would be a visual novel. Because I feel like I'd feel like a big dork just doing voices for like every single character. So maybe like outsourcing that to like various people would be a fun way to do that.
That was too easy.
Wide open. Yeah.
I like how you guys are just self-identifying as my harem.
Yeah, I could get used to this.
Oh yeah, here we go.
I mean, aren't cheerleaders basically just a harem anyway? Because, like, heteronormative society, like, shoves them into being, like, attached at the hip to football players. The harem. Yeah, the uniform will be a like something Femboy Booters-esque. If not, literally just Femboy Hooters. What do I even want here? Curse. Oh my god.
I'll use this. Domain 40. Come. You're mine.
Nice, Joker! Hitting weakness! Great technique, Joker!
I hope I get to the point someday where I can make, like, branded booty shorts. Like, that's a very obvious, you've made it in life kind of thing, when you can start selling merchandise. That and, like, when people make porn of you. So maybe someday I'll read, like, fandom fanfiction. Booters. That's actually not a bad name for, like, gay hooters.
Here's what I found. You're already working on this one.
Take this.
Yeah, Booters is like bussy. Do you guys also have that thing where anytime you see the word or the term bussin', you think bussin'? Because I started seeing that in text for a while before I actually heard someone pronounce it, and I thought it was a bussy thing. I think because I saw it on TikTok, and so it was gay guys using it, and I just assumed it meant bussy.
This was over before it began. Good job, everyone.
Good stuff, guys. Keep it coming. It's this one, right? Gotta put the drop on him.
What are you doing?
This is our chance. Wipe them out. Let's make this quick. Emma's in sight. We can do it.
Not a fan of bussy. Yeah, I'm the opposite of the person who doesn't like the word moist. I love shit like that. But I'll try not to say it too much to trigger you. My favorite, though, even more than Bussy, is Crusty from that Mr. Krabs is a thick bit meme. Ooh, bond points.
Let's see.
Crusty with a K. I should finish off. Oh. How did I not finish upgrading this? Alright, well now I did. And then I should probably get this up too, if nothing else, so that I can just keep selling the personas for more persona points.
Everyone, let's keep chugging along.
We're still only like halfway through those though. We're done with the game. We're just at like grinding and post-game and stuff. And we still have half of those skills to get. That's gonna be such a nightmare.
I'd call that an easy win.
Okay, let's keep this up.
Maybe we'll be lucky and they'll dump a million bond points on us for like doing some of the extra bosses or something. But I kind of doubt it. That's the dark side of JRPGs, is having to grind for a million years.
I almost feel sorry for them. Here's hoping the next one's get away. Finish them off in one blow. That's one more. Come on, everyone. Out of my way. Doesn't like it.
8 is on my list to play, and I have it on PS4. So that will be a thing at some point. But at least it's like the new version where you can like use cheats basically. Which actually, speaking of like having a hard time playing old JRPGs, what a godsend that is in the recent re-releases of Final Fantasy games they've done. 'Cause I would rather just like play the game and use those cheats and have like a smoother, faster experience and still actually get to experience the game myself. But just like have a better time of it because of being able to use those cheats. Yeah, I think the PC ports have had cheats maybe for a while longer, but now on like consoles, that's also a thing. At least for like 7, 8, 9.
Keep it up.
Heck is that?
Because I have played 7 and 9 with those cheats.
Here's what I found.
And that's the version I have of 8, and I just haven't played it yet. Because I have a really big backlog right now.
Why don't we see what that is?
All according to plan.
This is probably a mini-boss, but it's probably worth doing. Because it seems like mini-bosses give me the quest items. I thought 9 was fine. It wasn't my favorite. Just like the general vibe of it, I didn't like as much as some of the other games. But like every Final Fantasy game is good. Well, I guess that's sort of a hot take, because I know a lot of people don't like 13, and people also have problems with 15, which is fair, and I probably also have a lot of those problems, but I still like the game. And it definitely doesn't hurt that it's like Boy Band Road Trip and Noctis and Prompto are like so fucking cute. Noctis is like the perfect crossover between like my mom's type and my type. Yeah, as we've established, Gladio would be like too manly for me. But like he's still very pretty because it's Final Fantasy, so like he does a little bit for me. Ignis really does nothing for me though. That's maybe more for like the Benedict Cumberpatch crowd. It's weird too, because you'd think the accent would help, but it doesn't really.
Okay, let's keep it moving.
Is Gideon Emery his voice actor? I feel like I know Noctis's voice actor from other stuff too.
This is the request. You're already working on this one. You're already working on this one. You're already working on this one.
3 more. We'll hop back out and just run the beginning a bit.
All right, it's time.
All right.
Time for some infiltration.
Ooh, this may be relevant to my interests.
Take this!
Please don't get in our way.
Oh, let's take the map.
We're almost there. Stay strong, everyone.
Once I get around to doing emotes, either through Twitch or BTTV, we'll have to like work in preferences into the emotes, like I don't know, like what the naming convention would be, like level up something or Joe something. So like level up Twink and level up Bara and stuff like that. I think that would be fun. I feel like level up plus whatever else makes more sense. Because doing like Joe Twink and Joe Bara sounds weird to me. Actually, I think I want a different skill configuration there. Yeah, I try to avoid keeping my priorities straight.
I'd like at least a little more challenge. Okay, let's keep it moving. Let's finish that. Great.
I should, just, like, use King Frost here, so I can get him leveled up for that Defense Master skill. Since I'm just kind of blindly hitting stuff anyway. Which term? Keeping your priorities straight?
An easy win, don't you think?
Is that, like, the man trying to keep us down?
They're in our way. Let's move them aside. I'll do my best.
It's a strong one. Exploit its weakness to curse. Watch this shot. Unmove her until we cure it.
That is pretty funny.
Don't let up, guys! Domain 4, Jessica! King Frost!
I probably do need to use Abaddon for this. Yeah, I love whenever there's like an opportunity to like make a gay joke out of yourself in that way, like wordplay wise. Okay. Be that way. Yeah, so Jedek, were your parents saying like keep him heterosexual or like keep him on the straight and narrow, like out of trouble?
I can do much with this, I'm sure.
Your go.
Stay out of trouble, okay? I figured, but I thought I'd ask.
Here's what I found. You're already working on this one.
Excellent. I don't sense any shadows nearby.
Dude, that shadow doesn't see us.
Yeah, coming out is like weird, obviously. At this point, like being out to my family, I kind of want to just, for me personally, at least, this isn't like the answer for everybody, but I'd rather just like people find out. Like, I don't necessarily want to announce it. I just want to like let it come up naturally.
Show me your true self.
Because it's like exhausting to have to do. And I am in a place, fortunately, where I feel like I don't have to worry that much about like negative reactions. So I'm just like down to let whatever happens.
I'll reveal your true form.
Yeah, there's like a million comedy sketches to that effect of like straight people having to come out.
Didn't even break a sweat.
Let's move on.
Yeah, like, I'm not actually out to a lot of people in my life explicitly, just because I, like, decided I didn't want to bother, and, like, it'll just get ironed out at some point. So, like, fair warning that is totally possible that could happen on stream at some point. Be prepared for that. But again, like, I am not worried about it going poorly. Like, family's different though, right? I feel like for most people, you probably want to cross that bridge and make it explicit at some point.
Shall we head back? This is the request. Are you double checking the request? Mission accomplished. You're already working on this one.
I hope the shops actually refresh here, now that I have new recipes and stuff. Yeah, like, I have LGBTQ in my tags here. Half of my content is simping over stuff. So there's a lot of opportunity for people to figure it out. And I'm kind of hoping people just will. And then, like, it won't be a whole big dramatic thing. Yeah, Mom, you forget that, like, you're way cooler about this than a lot of people are.
You're accepting this request? You're accepting this request?
I don't know what quest I want to do here next. Demiurge is going to be really long.
You're doing this one?
So maybe we'll try Alice.
You're accepting this
Even
request?
assuming that it's, like,
Time to get to work.
harder this time. Yeah, Jedic's right. Like, you gotta take care of yourself. It's not weird or uncommon for gay people to, like, get fully established in that way later in life, just because they have to, like, deal with everybody else being weird about it. So, like, it's not a race, basically, is what I'm saying.
What are you looking for today? What are you selling? Are you sure? How many? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? How many? 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 Are you sure? There's a sale happening. Now's your chance to. You thank you very much. How many would you like? You thanks for your patronage. How many would you like? You thank you very much. You put it to good use. How many would you like? You thanks for your patronage. How many would you like? You thanks for your patronage. How many would you like? You thank you very much. You thank you very much. You thanks for your patronage. How many would you like? You thank you very much. How many would you like? You thank you very much. You thanks for your patronage. You put it to good use, okay? You put it to good use. How many would you like? You thank you very much. You thank you very much. You're buying quite a. How many would you like? You put it to good use, okay?
Welcome to the
Yeah,
bathroom.
it's,
You wish to browse? What will you be registering?
it's definitely helpful that you can
You wish to strengthen it?
get that support in other places if you need to.
You wish to browse the... What will you be registered? Will you register? This persona, 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 will you register? This persona has been... Will you register? This persona, will you register? This persona has been registered in its present condition.
I must have resummoned Trumpeter at some point. Because his skills are, like, out of whack. Yeah, the religious angle of things, one, I don't feel like that should dictate anybody else's life at all. But even if you need to, like, take that into account, I feel like there's so much more evidence for being, like, pro everybody than against.
You wish to browse the... What will you be registered? Will you register? This persona has... Will you register? This persona, will you register?
Yeah, if we could get to the point where people stop wielding religion as a weapon, that would be really good.
Performing a fusion.
There must not be many more personas left, other than the ones from special quests.
You wish to browse the entries? Please take a look.
Oh, yeah, that's probably all of them here at the end. 7 total. That's nice. Now I don't have to worry about that as much in terms of, like, funds to go into it. Yeah, so I think we'll go try the Alice boss fight quick. I think I can actually just accept all of these requests now.
You're accepting this request? Time to get to work. You're accepting this request? You're accepting this request?
Because I'm pretty sure this is the last batch. Maybe not quite. There might be, like, I think there's a couple more after I do these. At least one. But I'm trying to remember now what Alice was weak to. I think it was wind. So we'll probably just do our normal healing crew.
Very well. Let us depart.
Morgana, Makoto, and Sophia. I don't know exactly when we're gonna finish. Tomorrow's Friday already. I haven't lined up Jackbox or anything. Although at this point I feel like I can be a little bit more last minute about it. We'll see. I would like to do a multiplayer thing with people either tomorrow or Saturday, and then probably more Valheim on Sunday with Mike and Pat. So it's very possible that, for sure, yes, when we get the Discord up and going, we can definitely do Jackbox together. Probably not until I get the Discord up, just because it'll be a lot easier to coordinate that way, rather than like trying to do it all on a Twitter thread or something. But I think that would be really fun, because you guys make me laugh all the time. So if we're looking like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 2 of those are probably going to be non-Persona streams. Maybe even 3, but maybe not. I don't know. So we're probably going to end up bleeding into next week for finishing this. And then when I do start up Neo 2. Yeah, you get, like, dirty jokes are all good. The only thing that I don't want at this point is people drawing dicks, because I think they have algorithms that like sniff that out and then get upset. But as far as just generally being filthy and putting anything filthy up in text form, I'm totally fine with that.
I'll just add this.
So we'll try the Alice fight here, see how that goes, and that will probably be the last thing for tonight. Whether it goes good or bad.
Here's what I found.
Unless it's super fast, but I don't think it's going to be that fast. Where is she anyway? Castle front area. I feel like I run into this every time. Like, I think it's marked on the map and it's not. This is Shibuya, right? Yeah, there's the building. I think I just need to, like, jump in and find it. Dick sniffing bots trying to steal our jobs. I think I just need to head for the Shibuya building.
Let's get them before they get us.
Okay.
Queen Mob finally learned a new skill. Let's get rid of that. And she's maxed out now. Makes sense, because she's pretty low level compared to everything else. We just haven't made a new healer in a long time.
This was over before it began. Good job, everyone.
Okay, here's the request.
What do you think that is?
Switch out.
Let's see how this goes. I don't like the looks of EX. That sounds difficult. Good night, Mom. Get some sleep. This is women.
So this really...
Yeah, she hits pretty hard. I'm not used to her attack patterns at all. It's now been like probably close to a month since I've fought her. Like, I've been playing this consistently almost every night. but it feels weird being like 50 hours in over like a month of playtime, because that's really slow for me. Yeah, she's like a Playboy Alice in Wonderland bunny. It's a girl in a Japanese game, so she has to be sexualized. That's the rule. She is hitting hard, but this feels doable. He says and then dies.
I'll use this.
Sorry.
I don't have any win personas on Joker, do I? No, I didn't think so. Morgana it is. That's what Rule 34 is for, right? Twunk Joker. If we have some sort of like dirty channel on the Discord, which I don't necessarily know if we will, but if we do, I want it to be like Joe's Christian Minecraft server or something like that. Also, if we have a Minecraft server, that's what I want it to be called. And then like it's just filled with like giant phalluses. The Phallus Palace, sure. Oh hey, poppers. I didn't even think of that the first 2 times I was here. Is that what poppers are actually supposed to be for? Like, cleaning stuff? I don't actually know anything about poppers. Nice ass shot. Oh yeah, now she Sonic the Hedgehog's around. Shit. Shit. I get by like all of those. We probably have a VHS player somewhere too. Cause we have like hoarders levels of shit that we need to get rid of.
I'll use this.
Yeah, I suppose so. Right now she's just like gone full animal. That's basically what's happening. But she does kind of like fart out hearts sometimes. Hearts with an H, not farts with an F. You know what I like the most? Yeah, I've read enough Omegaverse to know where this is going. Oopsies.
With this. Let's go. I'll use this.
Oh,
Go ahead.
he got healed all the way. I love spamming cat bus. Although it messes up with like doing it once more. I didn't get stuck in it, no. I don't think so. But I was you can like you can do your attacks outside of battle. Mom, if you're really having trouble falling asleep, like try watching My Hero instead of this. Return of the Bussy. That Sonic spin dash thing she's doing is like the textbook example in this game of I can't take time to heal or otherwise I'm gonna get hit. It was like the OG of that. It's more of a van, really, but it's a reference to Totoro. Yeah. There's like a line when they go into Mementos for the first time. He's like, for some reason there's this idea in everybody's head in the collective unconscious about like a cat-shaped bus or a bus-shaped cat or something like that. So they're very clearly riffing on Totoro. My mom's a big Totoro fan, so that's why she's asking. She has like a Totoro pillow and a Totoro phone case. Or I guess a plush, rather. Not a pillow. I'm glad that was actually pretty easy. The other two should probably be manageable as well.
Okay.
Oh nice, and King Frost finally got that.
Okay.
Congratulations, Joker. I can't wait to try this one out.
Yeah, she has a lot of, like, headache problems, unfortunately. Let's check out whatever accessory we just got. Ooh, that's really tempting. What do I have on him now? I don't know how often I'm causing ailments with him, though. I feel like that's better. on one foe. The wording on that is kind of sus, though. I don't know if that means I can only, like, one enemy at a time. That's maybe still good. I'll try it and see if it makes a noticeable difference. And... oh, I can just go back from here. I think I will turn this in, do any shopping that I need to do, and then call it a stream. Because it is midnight here, and we should all probably get some sleep.
Huh? That looks suspicious.
Right, let's head back.
It's so dumb that they show that here. There's nothing even spoilery going on other than they're in their Phantom Thief outfits in the RV for some reason. Which, like, there's a million reasons that could happen.
Here's what I found. You're already working on this one. Mission accomplished.
Let's check out that new whip.
Yo!
I feel like she got one pretty recently. But the SP boost is nice.
What are you looking for today? How many? Are you sure? How many? Are you sure?
Yeah, Aloe, you really are a trooper. So make sure you don't, like, get sick or something staying up so much.
Here's what I found.
Well, I'll check out the Velvet Room real quick.
Welcome to the Velvet Room. Awaken your new self.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's all, like, endgame extra personas. I get what you meant, Aloe. I'm not a morning person, so it sort of feels like a better use of my time to, like, stay up if I know I'm gonna be sleeping in anyway. Although right now, that's not as much the case because I have to, like, manage my time more closely. I think so. I think everyone else here is older than you, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're older than me too then. I'm late 26. Yeah, Alaprox, that's the first thing I thought of when you said you were 19. I was like, oh, he's barely legal. So that tells you where my head's at. Yeah, he hasn't actually been here daily. So hopefully he is getting some sleep. For sure. Gotta be horny on main. Grandma's maybe pushing it. Yeah, the reading dirty stories thing is less me trying to, like, cradle nap and more just thinking it would be funny for anybody. Yeah, but Mom, also imagine, like, if I had a child, they would be a couple years old at most. Yeah, I have, like, the wrong kind of daddy issues to be getting called daddy or calling someone daddy. Issues is a strong word, but still, like, I'm on the wrong side of the fence there. Daddy energy is how I get laid. With that said, I'm going to turn the stream off. So we can all get some sleep. So, thanks everybody for tuning in. Keep an eye out tomorrow for, like, notifications, or tweets or whatever, if we, like, do a fun multiplayer thing instead of Persona. So yeah, thanks again. Night night.